Justin Timberlake ain't never played no football?
That vest that you're wearing is fucking fantastic.
You are handsome.
You are handsome.
Now you just massage over the massager, please. Oh, okay. You are smart.
You are smart.
I just need those for some neighborhood watch out for this guy posters. You are loved.
You are loved.
You gotta use your core. If you don't use the core, it's just wasted motion.
Thank you. I don't ever work out without a spotter. Robert Kraft visited Meek Mill in prison. We know Kraft is hip. Well, his hip has been replaced by titanium, but he's hip. He hangs with Jay-Z, and now Meek Mill. And I fully support the Free Meek Mill movement, but Kraft is getting way too much love for this on social media. The last guy Kraft visited in prison? Aaron Hernandez, and we all know how that ended.
This weekend, the world's most elite lawn and garden expo took place in Augusta. The Masters on CBS, of course, as always, hosted by that young whippersnapper Jim Nantz. The highlights include Jon Rahm unsuccessfully breaking a putter over his knee and yelling 4 after every shot like a nut bar, Tiger Woods doing jack shit, and Bubba Watson putting into a bunker. The whole thing was won by a white guy who hates his family, Patrick Reed, or as I'm going to call him, Chubba Watson. Don't ask me how we got from the Lawn and Garden Expo to family estrangement, but anything is possible at the Masters. That's what makes it a tradition, unlike any other.
This weekend, I almost watched the Penn State movie starring Al Pacino as Joe Paterno on Sunday, but I figured if I wanted to watch someone help cover up the heinous crimes of a pedophile, I'd just go to church.
Let me summarize it for you. Al Pacino looks around confused while mumbling incoherently because he's playing an 84-year-old Star Wars Cantina alien for 2.5 hours. That monotony is broken up by an hour and a half of his family yelling in explicit detail every awful thing Jerry Sandusky ever did to children. The movie ends with a man telling a reporter over the phone he told Paterno he was molested in 1976. Fade to black. Joe Pa dies, everyone else goes to prison, sports fans are the worst, and I've lost all faith in humanity.
Well, that's the difference between you and I, TJ. You sit down and think, hey, how can I make my life even more miserable? Oh, I know. Let me watch a movie about a notorious pedophile. That'll be a great way to relax while I drink craft beer and shovel handfuls of M&Ms into my mouth. Now, I sat down this weekend with a box of Redvolution, escaped into a world of laughter and murder, watching Silicon Valley and Barry on my home box office app. And that is why I will live longer than you, TJ.
The ownership group of the Miami Marlins are claiming in Dade County Court the team is actually a citizen of the British Virgin Isles. The county is suing Marlins Team Co. over money, and given that's the only thing the Marlins ownership group actually cares about, they've actually employed a strategy designed to win.
You're telling me the Marlins couldn't find one single place in Miami dirty enough to hide their money? Not one empty condo palace in a city built on cocaine? They had to go to the British Virgin Isles because Derek Jeter is too proud to hide stacks of cash inside his asshole like a good team owner or manager or whatever the fuck he is?
You know, this happened to the Expos too. They tanked the season, then moved the team. The Marlins lost by 19 runs to the Phillies the other day. They're trying to move this team to Vegas. Derek Jeter, who looks like a Nugenix commercial, is a Trojan horse. He's a Kaiser Soze. Now You See Me Too magician secret society.
You know what I find hard to believe? Is that Now You See Me 2 got fucking made.
They're making number 3.
Fuck you, TJ.
The NBA playoffs are about to begin and give us the rousing conclusion to an NBA season everyone has known the outcome of for about 9 months now.
It's like having a baby, TJ. It's 9 months of patient gestation. Like a mother ferret bloated with her babies. And boom! Warriors, Cavs, all covered in placenta and all kinds of other fluids.
So you're just gonna write off the Rockets like that? Just like that?
Have you ever watched James Harden play basketball? It is the most joyless basketball ever conceived by man, or whatever species James Harden's beard is. Trust me, as a bearded man, I can tell you, Harden's beard is evil, depressed, and probably homophobic.
All of this is to say you are not on board with Houston.
Not on board! The only thing I am on board with is how often Chris Paul berates people taller and stronger than he is. As a short, weak man myself, I respect athletes who possess an elite-level Napoleon complex.
Registered and totally real basketball team Just Trust Us, the Charlotte Hornets, hired a person I vaguely associate with basketball, Mitch Kupchak, making this officially the most irrelevant piece of sports news that has ever been read.
We all know Kupchak is just there to be Michael Jordan's golfing / take responsibility for all my mistakes buddy.
Well, he was definitely hired to be fired, just like everyone in Bill Belichick's life.
Just like Jerry Jones' personal private investigator.
Just like Jim Irsay's rehab sponsor.
Just like Tiger Woods' caddy / prostitute wrangler.
Just like anyone who's ever coached LeBron James.
A job I lay awake at night dreaming about. Conor McGregor was arrested last week for assaulting a bus. Not Jerome Bettis, an actual bus. I guess it's true what they say about the Irish. They hate public transportation. Smells like a publicity stunt to promote the UFC fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather to me, TJ. The Sports Journal released the new info about the MMA fight between the two. According to the report, these are the modified rules. No kicks, no takedowns, no elbows, no knees. Certain things will be allowed, like the clinch. Beep, 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 beep. Newsflash, this isn't an MMA fight. It's fucking boxing in a cage with smaller gloves. The clinch? The clinch? That's what you do when you're trying not to shit your pants.
Which is what you do for an entire MMA fight anyway.
The sad part is, I'm still gonna pay whatever it costs to buy this fight on pay-per-view. I'm a sucker. A world-class asshole sucker. I'll repeat, DJ. I just want them to fight with elbows.
After having the best player in baseball for the last half-decade, it's nice to finally see the Angels get a player we actually care about. Shohei Ohtani is a puckish 6'3" Japanese dude with all 5 tools and a big-ass truck. He can hit, pitch, all that shit. He'll hit a home run and then make whoopee with your girlfriend. In fact, he's such a stud, he should be owned by a Middle Eastern sheik. Ohtani is hitting .389 in 18 at-bats and has a .483 whip. Look at this guy. Yeah, he makes whoopee. If you were wondering, why is Urban Meyer trending on Twitter this offseason? Did they finally open the recruiting Stargate? You now have your answer. The Buckeyes have decided to make the mayor of Whoville the highest paid man in the Big Ten with a contract extension that will pay him $7.2 million in 2018.
If I may channel my inner David Krumholtz from the hit CBS series Numbers, that would equate to $88,000 per player if they paid college players.
There's no way that math is right. I mean, what do college athletes even do? We all know who's really responsible for those touchdowns, yards, tackles, sacks, passes, interceptions, fumbles, knee injuries, concussions, CTE, steroid use, suffering grades, depression, family dysfunction, and Cotton Bowl national championships.
The players?
No! The coaches! Congratulations on the raise, Urban Meyer.
Well deserved. Ronda Rousey won her first match at WrestleMania.
One, you cannot win something that is not a contest, Brandon.
If you can't see how Ronda's total and utter domination of whoever this is with a brutal takedown and a one of these and a one of those and a one of these, you might want to go to an oncologist, TJ, because you're fucking blind. How many WWE matches have you won?
That's not what oncology is for, and the same amount as every WWE fighter ever. 0. Nebraska quarterbacks coach Mario Verduzco doesn't believe in days of the week because he says every day is game day. This is the biggest chronological controversy we've had since the great debate over whether the week begins on Sunday or on Monday.
Speaking of pulling teeth, Ray Lewis, who has been crashing on the studio couch used for Colin Cowherd's radio show, woke up long enough for Colin to ask him about Odell Beckham Jr.'s relationship with Jesus.
Where there's no God, there's chaos. Odell has removed God from his life. This is a kid that grew up under the covenant of who God really is. And everything that he's doing, he's crying out for help.
Guys like Lewis assume the worst because they've literally done the worst. Ray Lewis to Odell is like, "Let me tell you a story, Odell. One night, I too had some pizza. Some sex, a little weed, crush some benzos with my crack to suppress my murderous rage, and boom! Next thing you know, my friends are stabbing 2 dudes to death in the streets of Atlanta outside the Cobalt Lounge. Was it pizza? Was it the drugs? Was it the video games and Marilyn Manson music? Nobody will ever know. But I won Defensive Player of the Year the following season.
And Odell Beckham was like, so you're telling me to have more sex and do more drugs?
With God, Odell, anything is possible.
It's simple.
It is simple, Ray Lewis. Your responsibility as a mentor is to teach Odell how to buy and do drugs safely. Never buy synthetic weed. Cocaine is safe as long as you don't do too much, and you can confirm it hasn't been cut with rat poison. Athletes are built to do cocaine. Their hearts can endure the rigors of cocaine with ease. Just ask Lawrence Taylor or Michael Irvin or Martin Gramatica.
You're just saying that because Martin looks like he could be involved in cartel-level drug trafficking. But yes, Gramatica was a notorious cokehead. It's very true. It's why his bones were so brittle.
You fucking idiot, TJ. That was Bill Gramatica. Who's the sports genius now, TJ?
Well, that's it for What the Sports. Today we learned a lot. We need to start living our lives by the 3 F's, Brandon. Faith, football, and I forgot the last F. Fucking? Is the faith?
You're close.
Football and fucking?
You're close, TJ. It's faith, football, and family. Which, of course, is a result of unprotected sex fucking, if you do it enough.
Unless you're Patrick Reed.
What do you think the best bottled water is?
I'm gonna say it's Fuji, right?